Epilogue. 8 months later. "Okay, time to put this on." Brent held out the satin blindfold. She smiled at him and closed her eyes. "Why exactly am I wearing a blindfold?"
"So the surprise doesn't get ruined."
With a gentle touch, he tied the cloth around her eyes and then used the opportunity to place an unexpected kiss on her lips. "You needed to blindfold me to kiss me?" she asked with a laugh. Brent joined in the laughter.
"Oh, honey, that is not the surprise."
Sam smiled and shook her head. It had been an amazing 8 months. After several conversations with Pastor Ron and a counselor, she had started working on her inability to allow people to help her. However, she and Brent had talked together and decided the shop would still lose money due to the higher rent, and they had let the lease expire. Sam had been sad at first, but then she'd received a call from the local high school. They wanted to add auto shop as a class and offered Sam use of their garage, not only for classes, but also for her business when there was some. She found she enjoyed teaching the next generation as much as she liked working on cars. Plus, the hours were better. She was home by 4 most days unless the car project was more than her students could handle, and she was forced to put in extra hours. Still, she rarely worked past 6 and never on weekends unless it was an emergency. Brent published his book and was getting quite a nice royalty from it, and he had another one in the works. He was making enough money that he didn't seem to miss the bigger paychecks from movie roles. Plus, he was still getting paid for the Night Ranger movies that were now in syndication. And he had brought her in on the house designs. He had already established the general layout, but as she would be living in the house too, he let her make furniture and color decisions. They had gotten married during Christmas break when Sam was off from school and had a short but amazing honeymoon in London. "You've already given me enough surprises. You paid for the wedding and then the honeymoon to London. What else do I need?"
"Just wait and see."
A few minutes later, the limo pulled to a stop. Sam heard the door open, and then Brent grabbed her hand and helped her out. "Well, we're on something solid. Concrete?" Her face turned his direction as she asked the question. He said nothing, but guided her a few steps forward. Then she felt him step behind her. He pulled at the blindfold, and as it fell from her eyes, she heard a chorus of voices shout, "Surprise! Welcome home, Sam!" "It's finished?" Sam turned questioning eyes on him.
"Yep."
The house was beautiful. A sprawling 4,000-foot ranch house with an attached 3-car garage and a detached shop for Sam in case the gig at the school ended. "It's so big." "Well, it is Texas, honey," Norma said with a laugh from the wraparound front porch. "Aren't you going to come inside and check the rest out?" Fanny asked as she moved toward the front door. "Yes, I suppose." Sam followed her friends inside, but her feet moved slowly as if in a daze. She had seen the skeleton of the house, but Brent hadn't let her in once it started to come together. He'd simply supplied pictures and let her work from them. Norma and Fanny took her from one room to the next, pointing out their favorite pieces. Brent followed behind, smiling at Sam as she took everything in. Tears filled Sam's eyes at all the intricate items he had put in. Her touches were all there, combined with his. "This is too much, Brent. How will I ever repay you? There's nothing I can give you to even come close to this." Brent's grin widened.
"Actually, there is. You can give me the one thing no one else ever has."
Sam blinked at him and tried to guess what he meant. "What's that?"
"Children. The house has 4 rooms, and I'd like to fill it."
Heat colored Sam's cheeks, and her eyes dropped to the floor for a minute before meeting his gaze again. All right, Mr. McKasson, that I can give you.
Then I am complete.
As he leaned down to kiss her, Norma, Fanny, and Paul cheered and clapped. Sam smiled and realized she finally felt completely at home. The end. If you liked this story, please leave a review at your retailer. Just a few words really helps.